I'm Keon Buckley. Here's my CFID, and here's my audience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Reaching Financial Freedom by yours truly. Just a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. Inflation and the norm. A lot of parents tell us to work and save our money. For this, I'm at fault too by telling my friends all the time to just save their money. This will cause us to lose our money because money loses value in the banks due to inflation. Inflation is a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. So as our government continues to print money, the value of our dollar will continue to decrease. In the past 11 years, the United States average rate of inflation annually has been 2%. We'll touch on this later, but basically, if you keep your money in a bank account, each year you will lose 2% of that. Why does this apply to you? At some point, we all work, earn, spend in an endless loop, unless we decide to change things and escape the rat race of living paycheck to paycheck. Money equals survival, we all need it to live. Money also equals freedom, it gives us better opportunity to gain more time. And money equals less stress financially. I don't believe it brings you joy, but I do believe that it gives you a better opportunity. What I aim to leave you with. At the end of my speech, I want you to understand that to take a step forward towards financial freedom, you need to use your money to work for you in investments, or else you will work until you're 65, maybe longer, consistently living paycheck to paycheck. How to avoid living paycheck to paycheck is by building security, investing in the stock market and diversifying, and creating multiple streams of income. First off, building security. First thing we want to do is create an emergency fund for up to 6 months, just in case you lose your job or get ill or whatever happens. What you want to do is tally up your monthly expenses and multiply it by 6 to give you 6 months. This will include gas, groceries, subscriptions, water, electricity, insurance, house, car payments, etc., etc. Then put your money or your emergency fund into a high-yield savings account. Most general savings accounts have a 0.01% of interest, which is very low. But these, Citibank, Ally, and Marcus by Goldman Sachs, will give you at least 0.50% back on your money. So while you wait for an emergency, your money will grow. Next thing we want to do is make a budget. We want to track our expenses and set a limit. Now, how do you know if it's a good time to invest? First things first is you want to make sure you eliminate all debt with an interest rate greater than 7%. This usually includes credit card debt. Once you have your emergency fund and budget established, then you're ready to invest in the stock market. But remember, just because you want it doesn't mean you need it. Investing in the stock market. Investing in the stock market is the same as buying a part of the company. If the company does well, you will too, vice versa. If it does bad, you'll lose money. Stock market's a great way to create passive income, and for the stock market, we'll go over index funds, compound interest, and dividends. Now, index funds, what are they? Index funds are a collection of stocks that like to track the market. So you think of it as multiple eggs in your basket. We'll use the S&P 500 so I don't confuse you guys. The S&P 500, you have to think of it as America's stock. It is the best 500 companies in the country, and it tracks their fund together. Now, this fund historically returns 13.6% annually a year. This is what I like to invest in. Minus inflation, you'll be getting probably 11% return on your money. It's a great option. Now, why index funds? It helps you diversify your portfolio. So in case Tesla decides to roll over and die one day, now you still have Apple, Microsoft, Walmart, all still working for you at a great rate. And it minimizes risk. Obviously, it's a safer option, just like I said, if companies decide to roll over and die. Now, buying and holding plus dividends. In the long term, let's say more than 10 years, most stocks will have a return of investment. This is why it's key that you hold your stocks no matter what happens. This will help you beat a market crash and any kind of bear market, which means the market's doing poor for a long time. Dividends is when a company pays you a percentage for owning some of their company. So say if I owned a toothbrush company and all of you guys were paying me to keep the company running, I would say thank you guys and give you guys a little payout on top of what we're making. You want to make sure you want to reinvest those dividends. Now, compound interest versus inflation. This is what happens when you leave your money in the bank. In 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created, the dollar dropped by a 500th of a percentage, all the way down 100 years later in 2013. This is what happens when you leave your money in the bank. Inflation will kill your money. Do not leave it in the bank. If you have extra money from work, you want to throw it into investing and let compound interest work for you. Compound interest is when your money's going to multiply on top of multiplying, okay? So say if I put $250,000 in when I was 25, 4 years later, that'll be worth $1.5 million. Now, what's the main point here? The point is to invest early and often. You want to reinvest your dividends to give yourself the ultimate compound effect. And I've never heard someone say in my life, I wish I invested my money later in life. Lastly, creating multiple streams of income. Passive income is when money works for you and creates cash flow. For example, investing in the stock market, real estate, this is the most popular because everyone creates the most passive income, and dividends. I currently gain money from investing in the stock market and dividends. I plan on starting a vending machine business in the near future so I can start earning cash flow. Now, side income. Side income is any side job you decide to pick up while already working your main job. All you have to do is learn a skill and just sell it. It's pretty easy. Some of my side jobs include photography, coaching basketball, personal training for basketball, and online sales. Now, as I come to an end, I would like to review that to take a step further towards financial freedom and beat inflation is to build security. You want to start with an emergency fund, pay off your debt, and put that emergency fund in a high-yield savings account while you make your other money. Investing in the stock market and diversifying, you want to put money into an index fund by diversifying and reinvest your dividends and hold your money in index funds so that that money can compound and grow over time. Lastly, creating multiple streams of income. This includes passive income and side income. And always remember, money is a means to an end, not the end itself. Money is a tool that will create bigger and better opportunities in life. Always use money wisely and don't forget to pay yourself first. A part of all that you make is yours to keep. It's from one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Let's reach financial freedom.